Senator Estrada is a communist. And therefore, red tag does not work. Red tagging, labeling people does not work as a matter of principle. Therefore, why are we doing that? Nagsasayang lang tayo ng laway natin, red tagging. If you want to tag somebody that so there will be concomitants after the tagging.
Saan ka ba? Pula, puti ka. Kalaban ka ba o kakampi ka?
We've received reports that the NTF-ELCAC's direction is that there should be no more talks with Joma Sison. Am I correct? And would instead recommend to President Marcos to offer amnesty to surrendering insurgents. Can you please discuss before this committee the reason behind this?
Wow. There are actually two time points there. First was when I was just a political scientist and not a national security advisor. And the position I took was that since I have followed this closely as a political scientist, I thought that trajectory was no longer working, meaning it is not producing the product that we desire. And so we say, let's stop doing that. And I sustained that position when I was appointed. But I had to make sure that it hewed closely to what the president also wanted, because now I'm advising the president of the republic, and I have no business shooting off my mouth as a political scientist and veering away from his position. And I understand that.
What is the position of the president, Secretary?
This is the same. It's the same. He has articulated this in several fora. And so, because he also saw that the local peace councils were the ones that work. Okay, things that work, continue doing it. If there are infirmities, then, address the infirmities. So you improve with it and you finesse, the protocols attendant to that. And so we continue to support this position. And I think, if I may be, how do you call it, a bit more candid about continuing the national level and talking to people who are not here. Those people who are not here have no business making any statements about the things happening here. They want to make any statement, come back here. In fact, I would even advise the president to give them a position. Give this person a position and let him run that bureaucracy. Baka pati tenga niya magdugo, sa pag nakita niya yung bureaucracy na it's so easy to criticize. I'm sure that's a general rule, di ba? So if those people are just shooting off their mouths and they're not in this country, then let's challenge them. Balik kayo dito. Diba? At tingnan natin kung anong magawa.
Ayaw nga niya umuwi.
Yes. I'm sorry for this tirade, Senators.
It's okay.
Senators.
We're used to it, Secretary. Yes, please. Please identify yourself. Okay.
Nakaread. Hello. Yeah, I am Michael Eric Castillo. I am the Deputy Director General for Operations of the National Security Council. But just like Dr. Carlos, I was Dr. Carlos's student, and just like Dr. Carlos, I also for the long time I'm with the academe. So I'd like to comment on the peace process from the policy analysis perspective. If we ask the question on whether we are going to negotiate at the national level or to just negotiate the way we are doing it now, the first thing that we need to do is to try to evaluate whether the conflict is in fact ripe for a negotiated solution. And sometime in year 2000, I assisted the OPAP before it became OPAPRU in the conduct of scenario building exercise on whether or not there are factors and forces that will in fact contribute to the facilitation of a national peace negotiation. There are two fundamental elements that is missing. A conflict is ripe for a negotiated solution if the contending parties are in fact they have achieved a mutually hurting stalemate, that continuing with the armed conflict is in fact not beneficial to both parties, then it would be better for the parties to talk and to negotiate politically. The other condition where a negotiated political solution is preferable is when there is already an imbalance of power, meaning one party has the upper hand over the other. In fact, it is a negotiated solution in a sense that you are actually going to give the other party a terms for surrender. And then we are going to achieve peace. But in specific terms, when you analyze the CPP, NPA, NDF, and the GRP peace negotiation, what is sorely lacking is in fact the control of the CPP over the armed component. You cannot talk to a party that is not consolidated, meaning the political front will talk peace, the armed component will do otherwise. So it cannot command. So I think if we are to pursue national peace negotiation, I think there must be an evaluation so that our decision to talk or not to talk at the national level will be grounded on certain data on the ground.
Mr. Chair.
Secretary, do you agree with your student?
Oh, even in the halls of the Senate, academic freedom is will have to be invoked. But I agree with some and I disagree with some, but this is not the venue for our contentions.
Okay, Senator De La Rosa, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yung sinabi ni Sir na pag nakita mo na yung isang party to the negotiation is yung nga, the party, the political party has no control over the armed components, which is sinasabi mo is not ripe for negotiation dahil hindi favorable ang situation for negotiation. Pero merong cuts dyan eh. Do not be fooled by these people. Baka sinasabi lang nila yan, pinapalabas lang nila yan na wala silang control over their military components. Pero ang totoo niyan, they are very good in deception. Sabi ng parte, oh, let's talk. Let's talk. Pero iba yung harap niya yung GRP, iba yung instructions niya sa armed component niya. Alam mo na, this insurgency problem will not be here for long, for this longest period of time, kung hindi deceptive itong mga NPA na ito, CPP NPA na ito. Dahil kung talagang totoo sila, they are true to their desire to make peace with everyone, tapos na itong problema. Wala itong problema. For what? Anong ginagawa nila kapag nagpipistok tayo? Habang nagpipistok tayo, they are there consolidating their people, regrouping, rearming themselves, at recruitment. Dahil libre sila pumasok sa mga barangay. Dahil wala, hindi sila hinuhuli. Dahil mayroon tayong pistok. So libre sila. So alam mo, enough of this for me. Sorry, kung kayo sa academics community, I would tend to disagree with me. But enough for this peace talk for me. Niluloko lang tayo ng mga tao na ito. Ang ilang taon na tayo nakipag-usap, walang nangyayari dahil tayo lang ang sincero. Sila hindi sincero. Anong ginagawa nila habang nagpipistok? Yun, nangangambos. Let's face it. Yan ang nangyayari. Kaya huwag na tayo magpaloko. Ngayon pa na halos lumuluhod na yung mga CPP-NPA na ngayon dahil sa nangyayari dahil sa ELCAC. Ngayon pa tayo makipag-negotiate sa kanila? No. It's not the right time. And sabi mo, ripe for negotiation kapag the balance of power is like this. Nandito tayo. Sila na sa baba. No. It's not ripe. Ang sabi ko diyan, ano bang after ripe ripening phase? Yung nalata na ba? Sa Bisaya, yung bulok na. So it's bulok time for us to negotiate with them. Let's finish them. Yeah. Sabihin mo, magalit na kayo ng magalit. Basta ako, let's finish the problem. Dahil pag hindi natin ito seryosuhin, as I've said, ako, nag-retire ako sa serbisyo with all the scars in my body, with all the death that I have seen. Hintahin ko pa yung anak ko ngayon na kagagraduate lang sa academy will experience the same problem that I have faced when I was young, when I was lieutenant hanggang nag-retire ako. The same problem. Yung anak ko, ganun din ang mangyayari sa kanya. Siguro, it's, wala tayong maibigay na magandang kinabukasan sa mga bata na ito kapag hindi natin tapusin itong problema na ito. Yun lang, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator De La Rosa. Since Senator De La Rosa does not want to negotiate anymore, are there any other options?
I suppose we don't have any options that left, and therefore the realpolitik tells us that the local peace council is the way to go. There's no other way.
Yes, Director Castillo.
Sir, we are aware that they are only instrumentalizing the peace process, and that we are also aware that they are employing dual tactics of, peace negotiation and armed struggle. So,
Okay, any other questions?
And Mr. Chair, uli nyo na nga, patapusin ninyo, wala na pistok. Localized or nationalized or international pistok. Wala yan, nag-enjoy lang yan sila doon, magkape-kape doon sa mga hotel sa Netherlands para gagastos ang pera ang gobyerno. Tapusin na yan. Kunti na lang. I am serious. Nasa dulo na tayo. Dulo na tayo ng labanan. Patapos na ito. Pag matapos natin ito, Philippines will become a very beautiful country. Pag mawala ang problema sa insurgency. I tell you, napakaganda ng Pilipinas. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So, ibig sabihin, kaya natin to.
Kaya natin.
Okay. Okay, Secretary, regarding red tagging, can you comment on what is your position on the issue that the NTF-ELCAC allegedly resorts to red tagging of personalities and groups critical of the government?
Again, with your indulgence, 2 time points. First, as a political scientist, before I was appointed, I already articulated my view in regard to that. Another term for red tagging is labeling people. When you label, you don't explain. You simply label. You put a name on a person. So,
Example, Secretary, can you give us an example?
Senator Estrada is a communist. Does that explain you? No. Of course, I can say that you espouse the ideology of communism. Nothing wrong with that. This is a liberal democracy. You can be a socialist or whoever. But when you hold a gun and attempt to overthrow the government, you've crossed the line. And I don't know why I should call you. I should call you when you hold a gun and you murder and you kidnap. You're a criminal, isn't it? When you're a criminal, I throw the books at you, penal code. That's what I mean. You use a label, and that label has concomitants. The concomitant is, you do this, and there are consequences for your action. That's the reason why I said there's another time point. The other time point is now that I have this position, and I have not changed my mind. I'm still a social scientist. I think I'll be a social scientist until I die, because that's my calling. That's my profession as a scholar. And therefore, red tag does not work. Red tagging, labeling people does not work as a matter of principle. Therefore, why are we doing that? Nagsasayang lang tayo ng laway natin, red tagging. If you want to tag somebody that so there will be concomitants after the tagging. Otherwise, it's a non-productive pursuit. And I still hold on to that position, honorable senators.
Thank you very much, Secretary.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator De La Rosa.
Just to be clear about it, hindi naman ang gobyerno nag-red tag nito mga tao na ito. It is Joma Season, nagsabi very clear sa kanyang video. Itong National Democratic Front, itong CPP, itong NPA, itong tatlo na ito, ay kailangan ito para magkakaisa para pabagsakin ang gobyerno. So ngayon, kasama itong tatlo na ito, siya mismo nag-red tag ng party list ng Kabataan, party list ng Gabriela, party list ng Anak Bayan. Si Joma Sison mismo nagsabi. So, ang military establishment naman, sinundan lang yung linya ni Joma Sison. So, paano ngayon sasabihin natin na counterproductive itong red tagging, kung determinate red tagging, ha? Para sa akin, that's truth tagging. It's not false, it's truth. Na talagang nakalinya sila sa NPA, CPP, NPA. You may call me as a judgmental or what, but time will be at my side when I say this. Na sila ay nakakunik doon sa CPP, NPA, NDF. Konektado yan sila lahat. Alam mo kung yung red tagging, panahon na ito ngayon ng saan ka ba? Pula, puti ka. Magsabi ka. Kasi kung sabi mong gray ka, ay hindi yan maganda. Hindi maganda pag gray ka. Kalaban ka ba o kakampi ka? Yun lang yun. Pag mawala yung gray area na yan, tapos ang problema ng Pilipinas. Tapos ang problema, dahil pinabayaan natin, lumaki yung gray area na yan, in between red and black and white, lumaki yung gray area, kaya in-exploit ng husto ng kalaban itong gray area na ito. Kaya, for me, once you support the CPP, NPA, once you espouse lahat-lahat ng kagustuhan nila, you are a supporter of the CPP, NPA, but I am not telling you that you are an illegal personality. I respect your belief, but then again, as far as the political spectrum is concerned, magkaiba tayong dulo ng spectrum. So, I consider you as kabila ka. Kasi kung pabayaan lagi natin itong puro sa gray area, walang mangyari itong problema natin. Walang katapusan. Again, I respect your position, pero sabi ni Joma Sison, siya mismo nag-red tag nitong mga supposed to be legal plan ng NPA. Legal kuno, pero very supportive sa cause ng kabila, ng kalaban. Yun lang, Mr. Chairman.
Secretary Carlos.
Actually, Senator De La Rosa, Your Honor, I have no quarrel with you in regard to that. Jose
Salamat,
Maria
ma'am, salamat.
Sison, Jose Maria Sison can just shoot off his mouth and say anything, and even say that XYZ are in fact, aligned with his political ideology and its action component. But what I'm suggesting and what I'm stressing is that beyond the labeling, we ask the question, so what? That's the reason why I say we need precision in the use of our terms. If you simply say that X person is a communist, a socialist, or whatever, then the next question would be, so what? So I say, the so what will be answered by a more precise term by saying that this person is a criminal, is a murderer, is a kidnapper, etc., because you can take an action subsequent to that label. What's his name? Jose Maria Sison has every right to declare whatever he wants to declare. But I think we have every right as the Republic of the Philippines and its agencies to do something about that after the label has been given. But, ab initio, from the beginning, labels by themselves will not advance explanation. And as a social scientist, anything that does not advance explanation, I say it's a waste of time. That is the context from which I'm coming, Senator De La Rosa. This is not to denigrate your position. I absolutely, in fact, am in agreement with you. It's just, I guess, that our floors and ceilings might be different at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we will now terminate the deliberations on this on the bill of Senator De La Rosa. So those not involved in the next bill that we are going to be discussed may be excused. Yes, Director.
With your indulgence, Senators, may I already leave the Senate
Yes.
hall? Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, just for the compliance of the National Task Force, we have already submitted the complete documentation of the accomplishment of the National Task Force.
Thank you very
to
much.
To your office last September 12th.
All right. Thank you.